Well, for the Green Bay Blizzard, Sunday's Eastern Conference Championship was about more than a trip to the IFL title game. The team used the game to help Menasha High School rebuild after losing its football stadium to the Fox Valley tornado nearly 2 weeks ago. Sam Goodman speaking to the Blizzard about what they're calling football helping football.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, make some noise for the Menasha Blue Jays football team!
When the tornado tore through Menasha, it took with it a place where generations of football players had called home. But a few miles down the road, the Green Bay Blizzard saw an opportunity to help.
But when we saw the image of the football stadium, we were like, what if football could help football? And it didn't matter what logo was on a polo.
The Blizzard reached out to Menasha High School, and the idea quickly became a ticket promotion tied to the Blizzard's Eastern Conference Championship game. Fans from Green Bay and beyond answered the call.
We're trying to give the people of Menasha a break, a well-deserved break right now, because there has been so much going on and it's been so intense in the last week or so. And hearing the other schools that are getting involved, knowing that they have people they're normally competitive with on the field, buying tickets and coming to support them, that to me shows the love of our community.
The support adding up to more than $15,000, and the Blizzard presenting Menasha with a check during the game. Money that will help the school begin rebuilding Nathan Calder Stadium.
The Blizzard may be playing for a championship, but they're also playing a part in helping Menasha rebuild, because when one football community loses their home, another shows they're not standing alone.
Menasha will play its home games this season at Lawrence University's Banta Bowl in Appleton. But for the Blizzard, supporting Menasha isn't just about helping replace a stadium. It's about reminding a football program that even at different levels, they're a part of the same football family.
So even though we're professional, they're high school, it's still the same game, it's still the same premise. So it meant a lot to us to be able to help, and at the same time we have fans coming to see our product as well. So in the end, we're football helping football.
Menasha's next home field is set to be temporary, but the support behind the program is not. In Green Bay, Sam Goodman, Action 2 News.